All right, I think we'll go ahead and get started. I've got top of the hour. My name is Tonya, and this is a level 2 comeback yoga class. Comeback Yoga is a nonprofit organization in Denver, Colorado. We serve veterans, active duty military, and support team. We are serving in person across the Front Range, but also here online 24 hours a day from anywhere in the world. Our classes are geared specifically towards the active duty and veteran population, and but all are welcome. This level 2 class will last about 45 minutes, and we'll be starting with some seated or lying down warm-ups, and then we'll come do some standing postures, and then back down onto the ground for some stretching, and then a final relaxation at the end, about 5 to 7 minutes at the end. So you won't need any tools for today. Sometimes we use tools, just like any trade uses tools, and won't need any tools unless you are experienced and you know you like to bring some tools along. Go ahead and grab them, or maybe you want to be near a wall. Sometimes for support when we're standing, sometimes that can help. And maybe if you like something for under your head or just something to get comfortable at the end, you could also be sitting if you'd rather. All right, so for today, again, just go ahead and grab any tools you want. I'll let you do that, and then we're going to come down onto our back. So if it's comfortable, go ahead and lie down on your back and just kind of let your spine lengthen, let your body kind of stretch out naturally, just kind of letting gravity support you, letting the surface support you. Just feeling anything you might notice about this today. Noticing how your breath is. Just giving yourself permission to just do what you can today. You can follow along, but always remember that this is a personal practice, and whatever might be needed for you today to honor that. It might mean making it more challenging. It might be making it less challenging. Just remembering to always stay present with any sensations that arise. As it becomes a felt sense, and we notice our breath, noticing the surface. All right, and go ahead and bend your knees if they're not bent already. Bring your arms to your sides. With your next breath, bring one arm next to your ear. It can be bent out to the side a little bit, just whatever feels better for your arm. And then lower your arm down and look to the opposite shoulder. Come back through center, same arm. And exhale, lower that arm down and look to the opposite side. We'll do this a couple times. Again, you might have a little bend, or maybe it's a big bend. You don't have to have the arm going all the way down to the floor, either direction. Maybe your arm kind of stays up in the air. Whatever feels better for that shoulder. Let's do 2 more. And if you haven't thought about the breath, go ahead and think about that now. Breath and movement linked. Good. And then bring your head to center and lower your arm down to the floor. And let's go to the other side. So bringing your arm up overhead, and lower your arm down and turn your head to the opposite direction. Come back through center and look to the side. Just kind of tracking sensation, once again, to the neck, to your shoulder. You might even notice that there might be a little jerkiness or a little hitching in that shoulder. And we'll do 2 more times. Good. And bringing your arm down to your side and your head to center. Now bring one ankle over the opposite knee. And we'll just kind of move, actually take your arms out to the side for more support. And then take your legs just a little bit side to side. You don't have to go far with this. Just kind of noticing again any hitches, maybe in your hip or in your back. And then slide your knees together like you're sitting cross-legged and do the same. Just letting those knees kind of go side to side. Kind of rolling to the inside and the outside of your bottom foot. Just kind of noticing your foot there. And if it feels all right, you can turn your head in the opposite direction of your knees and back to center. We'll do that a couple more times. All right. Slide that ankle back onto the knee and draw your knees maybe toward your chest, but using just the strength of your legs. And then send your knee and your leg away from you, maybe either even up to the ceiling. You can hold on to the sides of your mat here or place your hands down. And then bring your knee in, maybe a little bit of lift of your hips, and then send your leg out. Come on in. And then maybe go up. Again, just whatever feels better on your hip. In and out. So in, a little lift, out, and in. You can go a little faster if you want. Make it more like kind of like sit-ups if you want, or reverse crunches, or you can just take it slow and just stay present. Let's do 3 more. Good. And then either placing that foot down to the floor or draw your knees in towards your chest. All right. And straighten that leg up towards the ceiling. Circle your ankle. And then take your leg out towards the side. And back through center, taking it across to the other side. And back out to the side. And back through the middle. Your bottom leg could be straight or it could be bent. We'll do one more. Out to the side. And across. Good. And then lower your foot down. Let those feet go a little bit wider. Let your knees kind of rest against one another. And just kind of sense how that felt on that one side. Might feel different side to side. Just sense, just notice. All right. We'll take that whole sequence on the other side. So walk those feet in and bring your other ankle onto the knee. Your arms can go out for stability. You can even bend your elbows here and just kind of rocking your knees a little side to side. Doesn't have to be a big movement unless you'd like. And then we'll go ahead and slide those knees together. You can have your arms down to your sides here and just kind of rolling to the inside of the bottom foot and to the outside. Just kind of noticing your foot there. And again, kind of sensing anything going on in your hips, in your back. All right. And then hold it stillness in the middle and bring your ankle back onto your knee. And using the strength, draw your knees in towards your chest. And then your leg goes either straight up and then back in with a little hip lift, or it goes out and in with a little hip lift. So you choose. Maybe there's somewhere in between that might be right for you. Just really allowing some of this to start to build some warmth in your core. And we'll do 3 more. Notice your breath. Are you breathing? Are you still with me? All right. And then lower your foot down. Stay there or hug your knees to your chest with your hands. And lowering your foot down, sending your other leg up to the ceiling, circle your ankle. And find stillness. Take your leg out to the side. Can go a little or a lot. Try to keep your other leg down. And then come back up through center. Taking your hand, just guiding it across. Certainly you could do this without your hands. Just bringing your leg up and out. And up and out. Out and across. And one more time. Good. And then lowering your foot down. Actually straighten both legs if that's comfortable and take a big stretch. Both arms extend up. Point your feet. Take a big yawn for your body. Maybe it's actually a physical yawn. And then lower your arms down. Draw your toes towards your knees. And then point your feet. Bring your arms next to your ears. And keep going. Maybe adding that breath in if that feels right. Just allowing some movement through your whole body. You might even notice that your shoulders move, your head moves, kind of rocks. Just kind of letting whatever happened happen. Noticing the tips of your toes to the tips of your fingers. I'll do 3 more. And then rest. Just find a place of stillness. All right. Let's take it onto a side and bring your knees towards your chest. Rest your head on that bottom arm, maybe on a tool, pillow, blanket. All right, let's take it up to a tabletop position. So hands coming under the shoulders and those knees under the hips. So lifting the heels with those toes curled under. Your hands might even be a little closer to those knees. So kind of a little bit, just maybe a couple of handprints away from those knees. Push down into your hands. And as you push down, start to lift your back up and start to hover those knees away from the floor. Push down, keep pushing down into your hands, tuck your chin. And with your next inhale, now lift your hips up for a downward dog. And you might find that that's a perfect place for your dog. Otherwise, maybe you want to go a little bit longer. Just inviting some connection with your hands and your feet to the surface for this first downward dog of the day. At least for me, it is. And really invite some length and extension through your arms. Maybe some release in the head. Little maybe forward and back or side to side, as long as it doesn't cause too much dizziness. All right. With your next inhale, send one leg up into the air. Keep that leg stretching up. And then bend that knee. Move that knee up towards where the wall and the ceiling meet. And bringing your foot towards the opposite shoulder. You might look underneath your shoulder there for a little, just different perspective. All right. And then bring your knee in towards your chest for a high plank. Keep pushing the floor away. And then let's see if we can step that foot forward. Maybe help it if you need. Get nice and long in your lunge. And walking that foot forward a little bit or back so that you feel even distribution of weight in those feet. Stay here for one more breath. That's it. And plant those hands down. Let's see if we can lift that leg back up to three-legged dog. Extending your leg way up. Inviting more length. That's it. And take it down. All right, second side. So you might have a little bend in your knees. And with your next inhale, send that leg up to the sky. Make sure that you're not putting too much strain on those wrists. So try to find more extension strength in those arms. Bend your knees if you're up for it. Knee towards the ceiling. And then take a look underneath your armpit for that foot. It's there, but you might not be able to see it. All right. Bring your leg back up. Look forward. Exhale, knee to chest. Hold that high plank. See if you can use your core strength to get a little bit of momentum to step that foot forward. That's it. To a lunge. If you didn't land exactly where you wanted to be, maybe walk it out a little bit. And let's hold this for 2 more breaths. Really feel how strong your legs are in this moment. Good. All right, this time we're going to push off that back foot and step forward into a fold, bringing those feet under the hips. Bring your arms up towards the ceiling behind you and circle your wrists. And then lower your arms down. We're going to come into chair position. So lowering the hips and sweep your arms up and then bend your elbows out to the sides. Now push down into your feet and rise all the way up to standing. Maybe you're taking a little bit of a extension there. Find the full length of your body. Maybe your fingertips come together. And then lower your arms down to your sides. Let's find that chair position again. So inhaling, arms lift, and exhaling, finding your chair. You want to see that the knees are behind your toes. You can see those toes. And if it puts any strain on those knees, you could even have your hands on your knees here. And that'll help take some of that strain out of those knees. Good. And then let's bend the elbows again. Push down, rise back up to that standing mountain pose. Maybe fingertips coming together. And exhale, lowering your hands to your heart. Let's do one more time. Sweeping your arms up overhead and exhaling, bending your knees, sending the hips back. Again, maybe choosing hands can be on the thighs, give you a little bit more support. If you want more Challenge, you can sweep your arms back, lifting those triceps, kind of a tricep extension, palms facing down towards the floor, shoulders back. So that just adds a little bit more of a challenge. If you want the next challenge, we lift the heels and hold here for 3, 2, and 1. Let those heels come down. Bring your arms forward and all the way up. Let's sweep those arms up for an extended mountain and exhaling, hands coming back to the heart. All right. Facing the long edge of your mat, stepping your feet nice and wide. Arms go out wide and then turning towards this big wall here. Your toes turn out. Reach out through the arms, maybe even look at your fingertips, and exhale, bend your front knee, coming down into warrior 2. We're going to hold this for a little longer today. So we're going to do 5 deep breaths here as we find extension through those arms and pressure in those feet. For 3 more, really look at those fingertips or a spot on the wall in front of you. Smooth, easy breaths. 2 more. Last one. Good. All right, with your next inhale, reach that arm towards this big wall here and reach it up to the ceiling. Side angle. Sliding that back hand down, maybe down towards your foot, really opening up your side waist here. Good. Take one more breath in here. And on your exhale, straighten your front leg. Let's take a little side bend here, sliding your arm up overhead. Keep your underside nice and long, and then reach up to the ceiling. Keep reaching, keep reaching, keep reaching until we cannot reach anymore. That's it. And lower your hand down, triangle pose. Your other arm can come up. Maybe for triangle, option is if you keep this length under here, pressure down into those feet, you might could come down a little more, maybe even a little more, maybe even a little more. It's really up to you. All right, good. Reach that top arm up and put a little bend in your knee. Tick-tock back up, warrior 2. Good. Now bring your hands down towards the floor. Maybe walk your back foot in a little bit. Maybe you're not touching the floor. Maybe your hands are to your ankle. If it's possible now, join me in walking your hands over to the upper corner of your mat, letting those hips come down a little bit without lifting your back foot. You can even look at your back foot. Good. All right, now walk your hands around, turn your feet forward, coming into a wide fold here, and reach your arms forward, kind of like you're doing a downward dog, and move your hips back. Get a full extension. There's very little weight in those fingers. Most of it's maybe in your feet. You can even make a little tent with your fingers. So coming up onto the fingertips. Great. Walk your hands back. Heel toe your feet in a little or a lot. Bend your knees. Push and rise. Second side, you got this. Opening up those arms, turning the toes towards this grouping of plants here. And bend your knee. That's it. And we got 5 breaths here. So if you want to count, your breath might be a little different length than mine. Notice where your mind goes when you count. Stays present, yeah? Stays focused on that breath. 3. Deep breath in through the nose if possible. Out through the nose. 2. And 1. Nice work. Now reach forward towards the plants. Reach up towards the ceiling. Finding really a big open rib cage here As you find a little bit more depth, maybe, if you're up for it. 2 more breaths, making sure you're still present in your back foot. And you might even be looking up at your fingertips. Where's your gaze? That's it. Now straighten your front leg, reversing your triangle pose. So push down into your feet. See if you can find a little bit more length. Anchor. From this lengthened position, let's reach forward. Keep reaching forward. There's no collapsing here. Keep reaching, reaching, reaching till you find that stopping point, and then lower your hand. That's it. Top arm comes up, possibly. And maybe your bottom ear can come a little closer towards that bottom shoulder for a little bit more ease. Take 3 more breaths here. You got it. Good. And to come out, we put a little bend in the knee for Warrior 2 transition. And then we come down, back down to the inside and pause. You might have to shorten the stance a little bit here. This is where a tool might come in handy, a box or a step stool or something. And then walk over to that upper corner of your mat. Make sure you're still aware of your back foot. Oftentimes what happens is all the weight wants to go into that front foot. See if you can evenly distribute your energy, your effort into both feet. And then walk around, turning your feet forward. And again, we'll do that kind of widened downward dog position, coming up onto the fingertips, arms forward, and the heels back. You can think about lifting your armpits, your elbows, and letting your head come between your arms. And then walking back, heel toe your feet in a little, just enough to bring your hands to your thighs, bend your knees, and come up. All right, push off and walk it out. So bringing your feet about hip distance, we're going to move into standing figure 4. So we're going to take on the same shape that we just did a moment ago on the floor. So the ankle is going to come onto the knee. Now you have a couple of options. You can take your ankle in front of your ankle. This is where maybe having, a wall or something. Ankle in front of ankle. And that might be where you stay. Otherwise, think about the chair position we did. So if we can move the hips back and down to that chair position. And then the ankle comes over the knee, like so. And then maybe I'm tippy. Maybe our hands come to our heart. Once you get that place of steadiness, just find an easy breath. This first one, we'll do it twice on each side. So the first one's always like, maybe a little bit sketchy. Take 2 more breaths. You got this. Whatever you're doing, you got this. You've showed up. All right, go ahead and come on up and walk it out. Sometimes we don't breathe. So remember to breathe, all right? I know from experience. Okay. So ankle to ankle, other side, maybe hands to heart. This might be a perfect place to stop. So lots of options. You can drop those hips back a little bit. Again, if you have pain in the knee, think about using your big muscle groups first, and then maybe ankle to knee. Bringing those hips back and down. Great. And then come on up, walk it out, shake it out. All right. So before we do that again on the first side, lean into your left or one foot, doesn't matter which foot. So just find pressure down, even distribution, the base of your toes and the center of your heel. And kind of rock forward and back on that. You can make your other foot light and just feel the strength of your leg. From that position now, let's start to lift your other knee. Hold on to the back of your knee. So as you hold on to the back of your knee, just feel the strength and the wavering of your other ankle. That's to be expected, right? We're not meant to be standing only on one leg. All right. Now from this position, let's take the ankle across the knee. That's it. And then come down. Now choose any arm position if you want to change it up here. Take those airplane arms. And you might even start to find that you could come forward a little bit more and just soar. Good. Take 2 more breaths, 3 more breaths. All right. And then bring it up and walk it out. Yeah, it'd be good to probably be near a wall today. My balance is quite off. All right. Let's go to the other side, and then we'll come down onto the floor for stretching and final relaxation. So making your other heel light, finding your bottom foot, your standing foot, and just kind of rock forward and back, feeling the toes, the toe mounds, balls of the toes, and the heel. From that position, find the strength in your leg, and then bring your knee up. Holding on to the back of the leg so that you use your core strength here. Good. And then from this position, toes towards the knee, and place the ankle on your knee or to the floor. And then bringing those hips back and down into that chair-like position, and maybe your arms sweep back. Maybe your arms come up. Lots of different options, some more challenging than others, some more just a different feeling. And we'll take 2 more breaths here. You got this. That's it. And press down, rise up. Second one's usually easier, right? All right, bring those arms across your chest. Take your feet a little bit wider than the hips. And bending your knees slightly. I'll just roll on down through the spine, letting your head come down. And bending your knees. Roll up with the arms across and release. Take a moment. Just get your bearings. And then we'll take the other arm on top. So you might just be grabbing your elbows, triceps, or your shoulders, depending on what's available today. Yeah. All right. We're all built differently. So just honor that. So bending your knees, pressing your elbows down, and roll down. Keep rolling, tucking your chin, rounding your spine. Good. And release your hands down to the floor now and come down into child's pose. We're going to add a child's pose with a twist. So I'm going to turn to the side. You might turn as well, but the toes are going to come towards one another. And as we move the hips back, take one arm, bring it underneath to the opposite side, and your hips go back. Your head can rest on your hand or on the floor. If this is too much for those knees, then you can keep your hips up high into the air. That might feel better on your knees. And take 3 more breaths here, slowing down. Deepening your breath, feeling it stretch your upper back. And come on up and switch sides. So again, you might choose to stay upright and bring the arm under, just kind of laying your shoulder down. That's one option. Next option, to come back a little bit or a lot. You can rest your head on your other hand or on the floor. And release. Stretching both arms forward for child's pose. Again, if the knees are bothering you, you could do this on your back. Just bring your knees to your chest. Otherwise, join me here. Letting your head, maybe your chest rest down. Your head comes between the arms. And taking a deep breath in, feeling your sides expand. And a slow breath out. Breathe in and out. Breathing in and out. And walking your hands back. Bring your legs around. Coming to about the center of your mat. Grabbing the back of your legs. As you roll down, keep a hold of your legs for a nice spinal stretch. And once you come down, let those knees come with you. And then straighten one leg towards the ceiling. Other foot can go to the floor, or you can straighten that leg. Remembering that you have autonomy over your own body here, and you want to track sensations. The more we stay present with our breath, the more we'll know whether this is going to harm us later, or is it one of those releasing, feel good kind of stretches. Now straighten your bottom leg and roll to that side. And we'll do a quad stretch here. You can grab the ankle, your other knee. Your bottom leg might come out in front. Maybe it bends. And now bending your bottom knee out in front of you if you didn't already have it bent. And bring your other leg on top. We'll open up into a twist here. Outstretching that top arm, looking over towards your hand or towards the ceiling. Could even use one hand on your knee or your thigh. Two more breaths here. And rolling to your back. And change sides. So your other leg goes into the air for the hamstring extension. And straightening the leg and rolling to your side for the quad stretch. You might notice this is kind of a 2-for-1 because you get a shoulder stretch here as well. And releasing that, bringing your knees out in front of you and opening to the opposite side for the twist. And bringing your knees back up through center. And draw them in and away. Draw your knees in. You might even lift your head and shoulders here if that feels good. And lowering your feet down. And we're moving now into our final relaxation. So the invitation is, first of all, if there's any other movement that you like that might be needed, just kind of explore that. Otherwise, if you're ready, you can either extend your legs. Maybe you'd like to keep your knees bent if you have any back pain. Maybe you'd like to sit up, or maybe you're lying on your side. So get comfortable. And we'll go through a body scan. First, noticing breath as it comes in, noticing the spaciousness of your mouth and of the hollow of your throat. And as the breath lands in the chest, the ribs, the lungs, you feel the width of your breath, the length of your breath. And the same as it moves out. And then sensing your eyelids, area around your eyes, your forehead, the area around your lips, sensing your jaw, upper and lower, sensing the ear canals, the back of your head, your shoulders, your arms, your hands, your fingers, your hips, your navel center, your torso. Breathe. Feeling the warmth, the fullness of your breath, feeling how your breath moves your chest, your ribs, your back. And if it's touching a surface, notice how that surface is against your body. Noticing your navel center, your hips, your legs, your feet, your toes. Noticing your whole body. as one sensation progressively coming to a state of ease. Finding ease, allowing ease to reside in all aspects of your being. Feeling the quiet that's coming in your body, the quiet coming to your mind, allowing a sense of peace, a sense of well-being, a sense of ease, little by little, gradually, deepening into that state of ease and comfort. Staying present for a few more moments in silence, staying present with your breath, with sensation, with radiant awareness. Staying present with breath, with body, with awareness. Staying present, returning time and time again to breath, to body, to sensation. Beginning now to welcome in any sensation or any sounds that are within the room. Any sounds maybe coming from outside of your room, birds, cars. What do you hear? What do you notice? What do you pick up on? And what about smells? Is there any smells you might notice? And just starting to enliven your senses, bringing back to the aliveness the senses bring in, that bring you into the present moment. Continuing to find little by little, even touch, sensing the surface beneath you, the texture of it, the temperature. What else might you notice? And continue, even welcoming in some movement, some small movement, fingers expanding, releasing, accessing your joints, the wrists, your elbows, and your head. And your toes, your ankles, your knees, all parts of the joints, all parts of your body that are joining all parts of your body. And as you feel ready, you can roll to your side or make your way up in any which way to sitting if you're not already there. Once you find your seated position, then maybe your eyes remain closed or maybe they're downward, but just drop in to that inner awareness, how you feel in this very moment. Is it that feeling of peace, ease that's remaining? And if you'd like to bring your hands together to close our time, I honor each and every one of you for showing up today, for making an effort to, if you're trying something new or maybe challenge yourself today, and just showing up the way that you are, however you are, whoever you are, in whatever way you are, just being who you are. Thank you. You are valued, appreciated, and so glad that you're here. And you can release your hands and lift your gaze. Thanks again for showing up. And it's been my pleasure to serve your practice today, to serve you in wellness and health. And if you haven't subscribed already, please do so. And if you have the means to donate and you haven't already, if you would like to, please do so. All donations are appreciated. And again, hope to see you maybe someday in person. Otherwise, always glad to be here for you here in this platform. Take good care of yourself. Until next time.